the Audi A6. Now, it's quite hard to believe that this generation was actually first launched at the beginning of the decade because it's really stood the test of time, better than some car reviewers. Look, there's me with the original car when it was first launched. Look at that, all youthful and stuff. You know, I haven't aged so well. Damn that 4K. Now, this car is actually due for replacement very, very soon, but it still stands up well against its rivals. For instance, the boot, it's only this much smaller than the new Mercedes E-Class. So in all that time, Mercedes managed to find 10 extra litres than Audi did. So the boot itself though, is actually really, really useful square shape. So it's dead easy to pack full of stuff, and there's some handy features. You've got tie down hooks, you've got some nets, obviously not these kind of nets, tethering nets. And also, as standard across the range, you get fold down rear seats. Now you have to come around to the back door to operate them, and they're only split two-way rather than three-way, but like I said, they are standard, which is a good thing. And when you're in the back of the A6, there's sufficient room, decent knee room, lots of headroom. People over 6 foot will be fine. The issue is when you try and fit 3 people in the back. So this seat is quite wide, but this centre console gets in the way, the large transmission tunnel, and the fact this seat is quite high means that, yeah, this car isn't great with 3 people in the back. And you can see what happened when we tried to fit 3 people in the back of this car. If you click on the card in the top right-hand corner of the screen, you'll also be able to see how easy it is to fit a child seat in the back here, and just how much stuff we could squeeze into the A6's boot. Now, the front of the A6, like the outside, has also stood the test of time very, very well. It still feels really upmarket. There's lots of nice styling accents about the place, and the quality is really strong. Also, standard equipment is really impressive. So you get xenons, you get leather seats, you get all-round parking sensors, you also get sat nav. Now I should point out that this is the upgraded 8-inch screen. Now you might like this if you're one of these people who don't like these screens that look a little bit stuck on. The one in this A6 is retractable. Look at that. Yes, the force is strong with this one. The only downside is that the screen is starting to show its age a little bit. So the graphics are a little bit low def. The system isn't as good as Audi's latest system. And you can see our full review of it by clicking on the top right-hand corner of the screen on the card. And you'll also be able to get another good look around this car's cabin. And what you'll probably find out is that cubby spaces, well, there's not much space under there, although you can get wireless charging for your mobile phone. The glove box is a little bit tight, but the door bins are big enough for, well, unusually, a trainer.
Right, okay, so moving quickly on, here are 5 cool things about the Audi A6.
Glass fibre reinforced plastic suspension springs help reduce weight by 4.4 kilos. The optional 1200 watt Bang & Olufsen stereo has enough volume to fill a 2,000 seater concert hall. You can get the car with wireless charging for your mobile phone. The anti-dazzle matrix LED headlamps have 19 individual diodes in them. You can connect it to 8 mobile devices to the car's 4G Wi-Fi hotspot.
The only issue is that requires a separate SIM card for the car, which brings us on to some other annoying things about the A6.
The 7-speed automatic gearbox can feel a bit jerky when doing low-speed manoeuvres. Active cruise control, lane keeping assist and blind spot monitoring are only available as part of a £3.5 grand technology pack. This seemingly useful shelf isn't quite deep enough to hold the car's manual. Heated front seats aren't standard across the range. The climate control buttons can be a bit tricky to use while you're driving.
Speaking of which, what is the A6 like when you hit the road?
When you're buying an Audi A6, you have to be a bit careful because most people like the sporty looking S-Line or Black Edition cars, but they get bigger wheels and stiffer suspension, and that spoils the ride. It makes it all kind of fidgety and a bit jarring. So you've got 2 options. What you can do is pay a lot of money and have the optional air suspension, which is quite good. Or you can just ask your dealer to fit your car with a softer suspension on the SE model, and then it rides perfectly fine. It's comfortable enough, and on the whole it's quite a nice car to travel in. So it's not too loud really, you get a bit of tyre roar but there's not much wind whistle, and well, on the whole it handles pretty well. Thing is, right, it's a front wheel drive car as standard with the smaller engines. If you get a quattro all-wheel drive version, it is more grippy, but it's never, this A6, as much fun to drive as a BMW 5 Series. In terms of engines, there's only one petrol available, and it's a twin-turbo 4-litre V8 in the rapid but thirsty S6. The rest of the cars, they're all diesels, and all the diesels are very good. So this car has the most popular one. It's a 2 litre and it's got 190 horsepower, and Audi says that it should be able to return 65 miles per gallon, though this trip computer says we're only getting 45 miles per gallon. Still, it's fairly nippy. 0 to 60 takes just over 8 seconds, and it's very responsive, this engine. You put your foot down and it goes, plus it's smooth and quiet. It comes as standard with a 6-speed manual gearbox, and the shift is quite light. It's a bit notchy, but it's light. So too is the clutch, and the steering, that's light as well, and it's very responsive, which makes this car actually quite agile and brilliant for just nipping through town traffic. And it does help that the visibility is good, so you can see what's going on. The only real problem is the fact that, well, the rear window is quite narrow, and you can see for yourself by clicking on the top right hand corner of the screen on the card to watch our 360-degree video. Okay then, so overall, what do I think of the Audi A6? Well, the ride is too firm with the sport suspension, and it's not great carrying 3 people in the back, but the equipment is generous and its diesel engines are excellent. Now, if you click up there in the top right hand corner of the screen, you can get more information on this car and find out the best deal you can get on an Audi A6 at carwow.co.uk. Thanks for watching. If you click over there, you can watch our group test video between the Audi A6, new Mercedes E-Class and BMW 5 Series. And if you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it and subscribe to our channel. Now, did you spot the Easter egg in this video? It was the A6 trainer in the A6. That was my idea. Actually, it was.